Welcome to the Root of It All podcast with Tree, your human behavior expert. Did you ever wonder why you have the behaviors that you have or how to change them? Did you ever wonder about different people in different industries and what made them good at what they do? Well, this is the podcast for you. You're learning all about human behavior from the experts. So cozy up, go for a walk, or go for that drive that you've always wanted to, and get ready to learn. Learn about you, learn about others, because us as humans, we are the funniest creatures on this planet. So let's learn together. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Root of It All podcast with Tree. And here I have an awesome guest, and I'm so excited to introduce you to Gabriele Pizzale.
That's right. Okay. You got it. You got it.
And she's from Pizzazz Personal Branding, which is so important when it comes to human behavior. And I'm so excited to have you here to share different tips, tricks, and different things when it comes to human behavior. And so, first question, what made you get into this?
Well, I've always had a love of fashion my whole life. And my background is in fashion design. And I loved everything about it. I love the texture, the colors, the patterns of clothes, and of course, how it makes people feel. I always feel my very best when I'm dressed up. And so how Pizzazz Personal Branding came about, I was an interior designer for 30 years, loved that job, again, dressing homes. And during that time, so many of my clients said, "Oh my gosh, I love what you're wearing. I wish you would take me shopping." And of course, I didn't have the time, but I do now. So I love helping people look their best. And it's very different for everyone, right? And it's, to me, it is a real gift to be able to share my love of and knowledge of clothing and fashion and style with people.
Yeah, and I love that. And it was funny because after you and I met, it totally drifted out of my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was in the fashion industry too, right? And
Yeah.
it popped out later on. And I was a lot in textiles. And
Okay.
so even like I'm looking at what you're wearing and there's different like pattern and textures, like the necklace, the blouse, the jacket, like it's all, and I think we forget about that. I know me, I've forgotten about it. I've been like just kind of like really comfy and like movable almost like
Yeah.
um so where would you start? So say somebody comes to you,
Mm.
like what would be the first thing that you would ask them?
So first, with any job, whether it's your, mine, or probably yours, we really have to do the deep dive on the person.
Hmm.
Who are they? What do they do for a living? What do they do in their spare time? And I want to understand who you are and what's important to you. Because also where we really are with fashion in business these days is personal branding. You want to show up as your best self, and that's very different from me to you and to you. So finding out who that person is, what's important to them, what are their values, all that kind of thing, that's the deep dive first. And then from there, my next step is to go and actually edit their closet. And that's a dreaded job. I mean, people can do this on their own, but they don't, because it's horrible. And sometimes, quite frankly, they don't know what to get rid of. Sometimes we become blind to what we have and we think, oh, that's a horrible top. I'll never wear that again. And then I might show you another way to wear it. And you're saying, oh, it's amazing. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, it's that the edit is super important. It, first of all, it's helped me understand my clients better on who they are and what they actually have and what they like and what they think looks good on them. And sometimes there's parts of it that definitely work and other parts that don't. But it's a great exercise to get rid of the things that are no longer serving you, and also though to put together new outfits, because we tend to wear this same jacket with this blouse because, oh, it goes together nicely. But guess what? This blouse probably goes with 10 other jackets in my closet. So it's really, thinking about how to use things differently. So before we do anything else, I've already expanded your wardrobe and hopefully helped you really hone in on the things that look good on you and fit you. And then we really start working on your brand and who you are and how do you want to come across in the world. And that's also very different. Like somebody who's in the corporate world will have to be a little bit more serious than maybe what we, how we want to portray ourselves. But they still have a niche. And there's
Yeah.
a great story. One of my clients who she was a like very like high up in corporate
Like a
world.
C-suite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she always dressed really corporate because she thought that's what was expected of her. And her career kind of stagnated. And then one day she said, the heck with it, because she also loved fashion. So she started wearing, what made her heart sing. And that's when her career took off, which is
Mm,
really
love it.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really about being your best self. So once your closet's kind of edited and we've gotten rid of it, there's room for some new things that we can pair with some of your best things,
Mhm.
and that's where the magic really happens.
And the great thing, like to kind of like break down a bunch of stuff when it comes to human behavior, like so that example of that gal, right? That all of us as human beings, we have different like sort of rules that we have. So obviously she had rules like I better dress this way to
Mm-hmm.
be respected or to be whatever she was making up in her mind. And so when she actually stepped into her own, she persevered and she showed everybody the possibility of the things that she can do because uh she felt like she
Empowered even.
empowered, but even coming back home to herself,
Yes,
right? Because she was hiding in all of
that's
like
true.
the buttons up or whatever it is that she was wearing.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is too that probably you find, and that I know in my closet, and you'll probably see my closet eventually because I told you about that.
Yeah,
Um,
can't wait.
yeah, is that there's lots of stuff that I hold on to because it's like I have a memory of it, of maybe when I bought it, the memory that I thought that it would look like, but then I'm still keeping it because I'm keeping the memory of what I thought,
Mm,
even though that's not how it looks like on me, and it
yeah,
may not fit exactly how I want it to be.
guilty.
And yeah,
We've all done
it's
it.
so yeah, it's like I know what you do for a living, what I do for a living, we
Yeah,
know better, but we still do it.
yeah,
And I find that fascinating. And so it would be great to see something that I had in my mind that I thought would look a certain way, and then bring you in and see if you can change it to so that I could wear it, but in a different way.
in a different way.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
So it's like multi-dimensional when it comes to like clothing is multi-dimensional. You can wear so many things in so many different ways.
100%. And it's interesting, so many people think that fashion is frivolous, and I challenge you that it is not. There's actual scientific documentation to show that how you show up actually makes a difference on how you walk into a room. So
Hmm.
when you look and feel your best, you walk a little straighter, your head's a little higher, you feel confident. And all of you can agree when someone says, "Oh my gosh, you look great
Hmm.
today," like that boosts your confidence for sure. So human behavior, like you said, a lot we have control over, and the easiest thing we have control over is how we look. And it's not being about being model thin
Yeah.
or having the brands, because I'm not a believer in that at all. I think there's a lot to be said for buying inexpensive pieces and wearing them well. And I'm
Hmm.
not, but on the other flip side of that, I'm also not into the fast fashion, because if you're not paying a price for it, somebody else is in the planet. So that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But there's no need to go super high end. It's buying good quality and things that are going to last a long time. But I think the science behind it is so interesting, because
Hmm.
when you dress for the person you want to be, or
Hmm.
the role you want to have, it does something to your head. And when you look in the mirror and you're happy with what you see, that also gives you so much confidence.
Hmm.
And people, whether we like it or not, the first thing they notice about you is how you look. And
Hmm.
and especially these days, being on camera, um,
Yeah, with social media.
social media,
Yeah, everyone posting stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
website,
Hmm.
LinkedIn, Insta, like all of that,
Hmm.
like it or not, you should have a great photo. And that's something that we can help you with as well. That's something I've noticed. So many people don't have great headshots.
Mm.
And they don't, yes, get a great photographer, but then what do you wear? How do you do your hair? How do you do your makeup?
Or it's so outdated.
Yes,
Right? Like I've
yes,
seen people on LinkedIn. I'm like, wow, no, that's not them. Oh, because like,
yeah.
like
It's been a while.
yeah,
Yeah.
because there's just not that opportunity.
Opportunity. Yeah.
So
And so, and again, it's giving people the courage and the energy to be relaxed in front of the camera so that they can get their best shots and be really proud to share them. So it is so important. And again, clothes, it's not about spending a lot, and style is way more important than fashion because style is forever. As we age, I don't care who you are or what you do. When you're 60 or 70 or 80, that's what it is. There's only so much you can fluff, but you can still be stylish. And I don't know, do you know Iris Epfel?
No, the name sounds familiar,
Look
but
her up. She is an icon. I think she just passed away last year at 100 and something.
say her name again.
Iris Apfel,
Upful.
like Apfel, but
Okay.
and she was not set out to be a style icon. She actually was in the fabric business, in interior design fabric.
Okay.
And but she loved clothes, and she would wear the wildest. She had the big black glasses, the bright red lips. That's how you would know her.
Yeah.
And just the most outlandish clothes. Now, she did have a deep pocket, so she had some beautiful designer stuff. But her thing was to go to the markets in New York and buy the $2 bangles and put it with a Poochie outfit or something. And so she always looked smashing. And how she became famous was through they needed to do an exhibition, and something got canceled. And so somebody says, oh, why don't we feature some of her accessories, because they were so outlandish, in one of the museums in New York. And then it was a hit that toured all over the world, and she became kind of an overnight success at the age, I think, of 80 or 85 at the time. And so she just inspired people, and I hope I'm like her when I'm her age. She just always talked about, how when she was young, she was never a raving beauty, but she said, I always had style. And, that's something anyone can learn. Like we're born how we're born, but that style part, that makes you feel great and confident, we can all learn that. We can all have that.
And it's so different for everybody. Like us as humans, like I think we all gravitate towards something, and we all have our own sort of vibe per se, like even when like this tone of our voice or even how we look. And before we came on to record the podcast, you were telling me about the story about the 3-year-old girl and this
My
video,
favorite.
this video where she was putting lipstick all around her face, and the dad was having a candid conversation like, oh, so where did you get that? And she's like, I bought it or at Home Depot or and the interesting thing is that your comment about like she owned it. Like this 3-year-old, she owned the lipstick even though it was all around her face, you said?
Yeah,
Right?
I don't think she used a mirror.
Yeah.
And she says it's my lippic. And it's the most priceless video. And you're right, she owns it. And I just think hats off to that dad. And also, I'd like to see this girl in 20 years, because she's got some attitude. And
Well, and essentially that's what you're helping people out with is
Absolutely.
owning the way that they look and owning different pieces, because if like specifically for branding, you want to be remembered as
Right.
well. So you can't just I remember actually I used to live in Vancouver, and I went back when I moved back here. I went back for a visit, and my one friend was roommates with this other girl, and the other girl had the not the honeymoon suite, the master bedroom. It could be a honeymoon suite.
Could be.
And it had like this massive closet, and all she had was like 8 pieces of clothing in it, and that's it. And it was all just like this mix and match, stretchy, like black and white. That's it. And I thought to myself, I thought, oh my God, how are you surviving with just this? And she's like, it's great. And she goes, because she traveled a lot as well.
Yeah.
She worked for L'Oreal, and traveled like all, so she goes, that's it. I don't need, and she buys like a new set. And it worked for her, not for me. Like that
Not
one,
for
and
me.
yeah, not but it's funny how, and I don't know if maybe it was just a moment in time that was it.
Okay, for her. Yeah.
But I do think too that when it comes to even the amount of clothes, like me myself, I buy a lot of secondhand clothes. Like actually, yeah, almost every like these
Yeah.
all like secondhand. And there's so many ways. And for me, it's environmental, a little bit of it.
Yep.
And I like different things all the time.
Yeah.
So I
It's a good
donate
way to
back.
do it.
Yeah, I donate back, and then but I think so what are some ways like So when you're looking at somebody and somebody like what are some ways that people could actually cut the costs when it comes to like you mentioned like are there specific stores? Do you prefer secondhand? Is it a mixture of both? Like what?
Absolutely. So you touched on a lot of interesting things there.
Yeah, I kind of went all over.
Yeah, when
I zigzagged for a bit.
that's
Yeah.
okay. We're women, we can follow.
Mhm.
So I think so going back to I'm a big believer in quality. So
Mhm.
quality in things that you're going to wear a lot, like your like black pants or a black
Mhm.
blazer. You
Mhm.
buy a really good one that's well made, a blazer that's lined, because that it literally could last you 10 years.
Yeah,
And so
fitted right, nice
right,
lines.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and so that to me that's super important. The fun stuff, the crazy stuff, definitely secondhand, maybe the sale rack somewhere because it's fun and it's frivolous and you might get tired of it. Also another great way to save
Mhm.
is swap with your friends.
Oh,
Like
if they're the same size
if
though.
they're the same size.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
really interesting, Tree, is I was just in Milan last year, and the majority of stores are going to one size now,
Oh,
which is
wow.
really interesting.
That is
Yeah.
interesting.
So if you're you and me, we're okay. But if you're
Mhm.
really tiny or over or plus size, I don't know. But that there's a lot of that.
Wow.
And you will see it here too in
Were
some of the
things,
European brands.
sorry to cut you up, but like was the clothing coming in from like overseas? Is
No,
that
it
no?
was all
No,
made
it's all
there.
made. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I mean it wasn't
Oh, you
everywhere,
heard it
but
here first. You heard it here
there
first.
it was
Yeah.
it was surprising how many
Wow.
stores were like that and high and low, like not
Wow.
just so that's interesting.
It is.
And then that kind of also speaks to how differently that's going to fit everybody
Yeah.
because somebody at the smaller scale might be more baggy and then at the upper scale it's going to fit them very differently,
Yeah.
but that seems to be so I was just you were saying about friends, so I mean I don't feel um somebody, if you are swapping clothes with a friend,
Hmm.
if they're bigger, smaller, that's okay. It's going to fit you differently. It might fit you better.
Yeah, and you know what, to your point, like I have one friend of mine and she's a lot taller and like obviously just bigger than I cause taller.
Yeah.
I'm only 5'2", and a lot of my stuff does fit her. And
Yeah.
I was surprised and it fit differently.
Yeah.
She has like a bigger chest than I too, but just it looks, I'm like, oh wow, that looked like, really good.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about like people and clothes and what we wear and stuff, from a human behavior perspective, we end up in a lot of patterns as well.
You
Like
sure do.
yeah,
Hmm.
like ways that people wear their hair, they'll
Yeah.
just feel comfortable, wear the
Yeah.
same, or comfortable with certain glasses. Like I know I went through that. Like I was like, oh, I got to buy another pair of glasses. I'm like, how do I like what color? Like
Yeah.
or even some people I know with my girlfriends, they're like mostly either wear gold or silver. Where what? Okay, so that's a question. What's
Yeah.
more popular right now, gold or silver?
Gold is still more popular, but
Okay.
also we're trending a lot. Mixing metals is very big.
Oh, okay.
So don't get so caught up in it. I have to wear all gold or all silver. It's okay. You
Oh,
can you
nice.
can mix it. But I think try to mix it um in a balance if you can, right? Like
Hmm.
don't wear everything gold and one silver piece or vice versa. Like
Hmm.
try to have a little bit of both. What's great is if you're wearing multiple bracelets to have some gold, some silver, and that kind of ties everything in together.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, there's no rules. You make the rules.
And what about okay, so this is fun. Okay, leather or suede?
Oh, this season I'm not on trend. Suede is it. I
Okay.
saw so much
Okay.
suede in Europe, and fringes are back, which is super
Okay.
cool.
Cool.
So yeah, suede is a really big new trend.
Hmm.
And but again, everything is, it depends on the person and it
Yeah.
depends what you like and what you have and what you're comfortable in. So, and
Hmm.
that's where I think um, we are really in a great time period. Like if you think about the 50s, all the ladies had the little A-line, the new
Hmm.
look Christian Dior dress. And then
Hmm.
in the 60s too, like the hippies and the 70s and
Hmm.
everything was always so cookie cutter. But I think now we have a lot of latitude of how we want to show up. And I think we're in a great era that we can show up who as to who we are and how we feel comfortable. And And I love another thing you said is like how we're all different,
Mm-hmm.
and you're more soft spoken, you
Mm-hmm.
speak slowly, and I'm the opposite. I'm a blabbermouth. I get very excited. I get very passionate when I speak. And again, nothing's good or bad. It's
No.
just who we are.
Yeah.
And so I just think, be aware of who you are and let that shine through
Mm-hmm.
your personality and how you put yourself out in the world.
Mm-hmm. And it's neat, like what you're saying in terms of like almost anything goes, right? And that
It
it's
does.
not um so what would you like, what about heels? Like I find
Mm.
like lots of like me myself, like I as I get older, I can't wear heels as often.
It's very funny that
Right.
you bring that up today. I just came
Yeah.
from a podiatrist appointment and I got my knuckles wrapped. It says
Yeah.
basically there's nothing I can do to help you if you continue to wear those
Yeah.
shoes. So unless I want to wear shoes that are this wide, yeah. So I would
Yeah.
say, of course, the beautiful shoes are not foot friendly. And as we
Mhm.
age, we can tolerate that less and
Yeah.
probably should tolerate that less
Yeah.
because it's not just like it's a health issue. And as I
Yep.
learned several hours ago today, that once your feet go, there's no bringing them back.
Yeah.
So I would say, wear them in moderation. Like if you've got
Hmm.
a special event or something, like definitely wear those beautiful shoes, but try
Yeah.
to, maybe at work under your desk or, at home, have the shoes that are going to be good and kind to your feet so that you can
Yeah.
wear. And then in the summer when you wear open-toed shoes that your feet are still beautiful
Yes.
because
Take it from us. Like,
yeah, take
yeah,
care of your feet because
yeah.
it's funny. I had a
Yeah.
cousin who's 12 years older than me, and she always had beautiful feet, and we were together a couple of years ago, and I said, I didn't want to say your feet have changed. I said, did you notice that? She said, oh, she goes, yes. And she's an esthetician. So she used to,
Mm.
roll her eyes at these older ladies that came in with these crooked feet. And she thought, well, that's never going to happen to me. But it started to. And so
Yeah.
that's why I went to the doctor today to exactly prevent that because
Hmm.
it's just starting and it's,
Hmm.
it's something we have to think about. And,
Absolutely.
so
Yeah. If I could roll back time a little bit, I might have, like, I definitely would have been a little less, just,
aggressive in the
yeah.
heels.
So take care of your feet.
Yes. And you know what? There's lots of stylish shoes
Yeah.
now. And just, it's what you do 90% of the time. It's
Yeah.
not that 10% where you're going to a fancy occasion. Like, of
Hmm.
course you're going to wear high heels. Like,
Yeah. Well, I actually went to a networking thing at a winery, I think 13th
ooh,
Street
nice.
Winery. Yeah, it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. And this woman showed up and she had this cute little bag, and the bag was specifically for her shoes. So she came in and she had these really cute running shoes. She took off the running shoes, put her heels on, and tucked the running shoes in the bag underneath her seat. And then before she left, she took the heels off, put the running shoes back
Yeah,
on. I was like, that is genius.
that is
So
genius.
so
Yeah.
I actually started doing that.
Yeah, that's really smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Or
so
even if halfway through the night you just can't anymore. Better
yeah.
than going barefoot on the dance floor because that's a little dangerous.
Yes,
We've
yes,
all
it
been
is.
there, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. So here's another question. So what's trending in like formal wear?
Mm,
Like colors or
colors.
or like necklines?
I think again, everything, but here's a tip I want to give you for formal wear.
Yep.
Again, it's really body specific as to what you can
Hmm.
get away with and what, you're comfortable wearing. But there are a lot of great rental places now for
Oh,
formal wear.
okay.
So I was at a wedding last fall and there was a lady there and she had the most stunning dress I've ever seen. It was sculptured and she carried it beautifully. And so, of course, I wanted to find out where she got it. And she mentioned she had rented it. And so I think that's a really great option
Mm,
if you've got a
yeah.
red carpet event. You don't need to necessarily invest because those are dresses you're probably only going to wear
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
And these places are incredible and you can just go rent it, get something extremely fantastic,
Hmm.
and then, look your best
Yeah, that's a great
yeah,
tip.
yeah.
Great tip.
Yeah, so that's what I would
Hmm.
do. Unless, otherwise, you just have to poke around, I think. Because we're not seeing the formal like we used to, right?
I
Like
think,
things, even
yeah,
weddings aren't as formal as they
yeah.
used to be. Like there's lots of weddings now. The guys aren't even wearing tuxes. Like my son's getting married next year, and I'm sorry, he's not wearing a tux. Like that's not
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, well, and I think everything's so casual. Like you hear all of these advertisements for these athletic casual wear,
Hmm.
and you can go like from the gym to coffee to dinner to like all these. So I think it's just more casual overall when
It
it
is.
comes like
It is.
people just aren't I don't know if they're maybe taking more effort on I think makeup. I see people more with either makeup or lash extensions or like
Yes.
brow tattoo
Yeah.
kind of things or
Yeah.
spending more money there. Is that like do you
Yes,
see?
100%. And
Yeah.
I think that's money really well spent.
Hmm.
I think women of a certain age, we all lose our eyebrows, whether you
Hmm.
over tease them or not, they just fall out and they don't come back. And so being a
You heard it
runner,
here first.
you heard it here first. I'm a runner, I'm a swimmer, and I don't want to walk around with no eyebrows. So, or very few. So I had them done. And that's one of the best things you can do, I think.
Okay.
And the other thing I think that women, as we get older, we really need to invest in is makeup tutorials. So go to your Sephora's, your Macs, and get a makeup artist to like sit down with you and teach you how to put your makeup on because it's very different than when we were in
Yeah.
our 20s and 30s. And nothing I think dates you more than wearing, that blue eyeliner that we wore
From the 80s.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's horrible. And
Yeah.
your hair, your makeup, your shoes, if that's current, you look current.
Yeah.
And then the clothing, again, you can wear it if that's all, like you can wear something really kind of retro in your clothing, but if your hair and makeup is modern,
Mhm.
it's like, oh, that's intentional. Whereas the same person, still has your 80s hair and they were like, oh wow, they're really dated.
Yeah.
And then you touched on something else about
Yep.
glasses. Glasses
Mm,
are key.
mm,
So, I mean, so many of us, when we get our glasses, we're like, okay, yeah, these are fine, whatever. I only wear them for reading. It doesn't matter. But again, as you get older, you're wearing them more and more, and
yep.
they're a great accessory. I love glasses. And the other thing that's really important about style is the
Mhm.
layering. So
Mm,
when you're just wearing a shirt, it's never as interesting as if there's a jacket and a necklace and the glasses. So everything you put on top makes a very big difference. So I say take your time with your glasses. I've got a very cute story of a friend who got her glasses a couple years ago and again was like whatever. And then they put the drops in your eyes and she couldn't see very well, right?
Oh,
And
right.
then they said, "Oh, now pick your glasses." And her little girl was with her and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you got to help me pick my glasses." So she did, and
Hmm.
and then after she goes, "I don't know what I got. Like maybe I got fairy princess glasses."
How old was her
Oh,
daughter?
like 4.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Anyway, it turned out okay. She did well, but that could have been
Could have been a
a thing. But
disaster.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's I hear that often from women saying, "Oh,
Hmm.
I didn't think about it when I just thought I just need them to read or in front of the computer, but now we're all on Zoom, right?"
Yeah.
So make sure that you spend a little more on your glasses, get a really flattering frame because you're going to be wearing them more than you think, and they can really be part of your look.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's so many different places. One I like get a tutorial for makeup. Like I literally never wore makeup until like maybe a year ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just on like I
That's
know.
amazing.
I
Good
know,
for
like,
you.
yeah, like I just, because now with like doing the podcast and even if, hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you go to some of the past ones, I was probably boycotting until my assistant's like, come on, wear
Yeah.
makeup. And I'm like, oh, fine. So I still wear a little bit, but that's a great idea. Maybe I should go
Yeah. And
and get
there's
a
nothing
tutorial.
wrong. Like I wear, I don't want to say a lot, but I wear
No,
more than you, but it's
yours
still
looks
natural, right?
totally natural.
And that's
Yeah.
what I think, that's what people get turned off. Like, and this is also
Yeah.
another funny story. A lot of when we do photo shoots and whatnot,
Hmm.
people are like, "Oh, I don't want makeup. I never wear makeup," but you have to wear it for the camera because the
Yeah.
camera bleaches you out.
Yeah.
And then they have these visions of, I think a lot of these girls danced when they were younger,
Mm.
and the makeup they put on them
Oh,
was
yeah.
horrific. I
Yeah.
don't know who's doing this makeup for dancers, but it is so strong and so, especially on a little girl. So these people
Yeah.
are so makeup adverse, and it's like, no, 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 no. It's supposed to make you look like yourself, only
Yeah.
better,
Yeah.
not like a made up
Yeah.
something else, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, even I was in the film industry for a little bit, so I had like makeup on me
yeah,
sometimes, and like it just I'd always like want to like take
Take
it
it off
off.
because
But
it was heavy.
back then too,
Yeah.
right? Like we're talking like at least 15, 17 years ago too,
Yeah.
where makeup is so different right now.
Yeah.
There's so many different things.
Yeah.
And with the glasses, there's there's a bunch of online stuff, and you can put like a picture of yourself and then put like different glasses on,
Oh,
like
that's
thing.
great.
Yeah, and this one place, I mean, not that we're sponsored by them, but I think it's called iLook. But literally, you can get two pairs for $100. So you don't feel like you're playing with it. So I have a couple funky pairs
Yeah.
that's kind of fun and
Yeah.
kind of like,
That's great.
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, there's so many great places around. Like,
yeah.
ask your friends where a great place near you is. And a good eye place will find the right glasses. When
Hmm.
I got my first pair, I went in and I was trying these on, and not these, but a pair on that I thought would be nice. And the girl's like, they're okay. She goes, but try these. And I put them on, and like night and day, they were the
Yeah.
ones. And so they really know what they're doing. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming, and thank you
My
for all
pleasure.
of this advice, like and your knowledge, your know-how, and all this stuff. And we're gonna have all of Gabrielle's information in the show notes, links, and everything, so you can contact her every which way from Sunday. And I encourage you to do so, because there's lots of richness from like glasses to makeup to outfits to redoing your closet to getting a headshot done and
Mhm.
all that stuff. So if you're looking for any kind of branding whatsoever, and the thing that I really enjoy about you is just the flexibility that you have. That like I've met other people, and they would always be, nope, this has to be how it has to be. Whereas you're more looking at the person and coming from their direction of
Mhm.
what makes sense for them, which I think is really valuable. Because if somebody comes in and suggests all this stuff, and all of a sudden the person doesn't do anything with it because they don't feel comfortable.
That's right. It has to be organic, right? It has to
Yeah.
be like I always say, it has to be you, but better. And
Ooh,
we're not trying to make you into
I like
someone
that.
else, just the best version of you.
I like that. It
Yeah.
has to be you, but better.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So even from a human behavior point of view, I could probably use that too.
You could.
Just,
You could. There you go. You're a
yeah.
package deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Mind, body.
Yeah, it has to be you, but better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we can hope for, right?
Awesome.
Because there's so much good in all of us. It's just finding it and showing it off, polishing it off and showing it off.
Polishing it off. I
Yeah.
love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much
My
again.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for listening to another great episode of the Root of It All podcast with Tree. So if you want to check us out on Instagram or Facebook, you can go to Business Growth Results on either of those platforms, or you can even go to businessgrowthresults.com if you have a suggested topic or theme, or you want to get a free hypnosis download. So we'll talk to you soon. Till next time, see you later.